Next time you're at Ikea, shop for 2 Rodalm picture frames. While there, pick up 2 of the same type of frame in the smaller size as well. Take one of the large frames and decide on some artwork for it. It could be a piece of actual wall art or a piece of craft paper that you like. I chose a scrap piece of wallpaper. Cut the paper to fit behind the frame's mat and attach it to the back of the mat with painter's tape. Once the image is attached, reassemble the entire frame. Remove all the pieces from the second frame of the same size, so you are left with only the frame itself. Now stack the 2 frames on top of each other with the wall art facing out. Take 2 small hinges and align them on the side of the 2 stacked frames. Take a drill and drill pilot holes in the holes of the hinges on one of the frames. Attach the hinge with a screw and screwdriver. Restack the frames and realign the hinges. Drill pilot holes on the other frame and connect the frames by screwing in the screws. Now take a small L bracket and line it up with the top underside of the bottom empty frame. Again, drill a pilot hole and then attach the L bracket with a screwdriver. Hang the frame box on the wall using the L bracket. Open the front frame and attach clear adhesive hooks to the wall behind the empty frame. From these hooks, you can hang keys, small tools, or even decorative objects you want to keep safe. No one will know that you have secret organization behind your framed art. Do you love all things Hometalk and DIY? Now you can become a member and get access to exclusive content and perks from Hometalk. Things like members-only live streams, daily DIYs, and even direct access to the Hometalk team. You can sign up now in the link in the description. Thanks for watching our videos. We appreciate your support. Now back to our project. Let's do this on a smaller scale with Rodalm frames of a different, smaller size. First, choose something that you want to frame. If you can't think of anything, how about some holiday wrapping paper? Affix the paper to the back of the mat with painter's tape and reassemble the frame. Empty the other frame and stack the frames on top of each other. Connect the 2 with hinges by drilling pilot holes and screwing them together by the hinges. No need for an L bracket here. Simply hang the framed paper to your front door window with a clear adhesive hook, and then hang a little surprise from another hook. This is the perfect place for a special key for Santa Claus when you don't have a chimney.
The first thing we need to do is take off the back. Thrift stores are a great place to pick up refurbished photo frames, yard sales, your local dollar store, or even upcycling something from your own home. I'm actually just going to be removing the paper, and I'm going to flip it over to this white background just to give me something more neutral in case any of it peeks through the wooden dowels. And then I'm going to replace the backer for some more stability. I picked up several packs of these wooden dowels from the dollar store. So what I'm gonna do here, there's a little bit of a recess in my frame, and so I'm just gonna rest that in there and use something to mark off where I'm gonna need to cut these off. I'm gonna be using a miter saw, but you could also use a hand saw and possibly even some shears to trim these down if you don't have either of those options available. In order to make sure all the dowels were cut at the same length on a miter saw, I taped them all together and made them in one cut. This is really important for safety because cutting the smaller dowels one at a time will cause the saw blade to kick back. So if you're using this method, make sure to do it safely and properly. So now that all the dowels are cut down to size, I'm just going to be using a basic glue gun. And I'm going to work in small sections since it dries really quickly, and being sure not to overuse the glue so that it doesn't seep out from around. But I'm just going to put a thin line on the bottom and place a dowel. And I'm just going to keep going, placing them as close together as I can, just so the glue and no gaps show through. I've cut mine to have a pretty tight fit. All right, and I'm wrapping up. I'm placing those last couple of dowels in. I really love the contrast between the light wood of the dowels and then the black frame, but you could always paint your frame as well just to match your personal home decor choice. This last one here is gonna fit pretty snug. I might even, yeah, I think we can fit one more down in there and just clean up that excess glue when we're done. And so I'm gonna give that a second to dry and then flip it over to add some feet. So for my feet, I'm actually just using some cheap drawer pulls that I found, but they've got a nice flat base, and I'm just gonna use the super glue to glue them right here to the bottom. That's gonna give the tray a little bit of extra height. You could even just use a chunk of scrap wood, and I'm just gonna place one on each of the 4 corners. For the final step, I got these really nice brass handles on clearance, and because mine's gonna be more decorative and not something to lift and carry heavy things, I'm just going to super glue them because I'm afraid a screw going through this cheaper plastic material MDF frame might split it. So I'll be gluing them, but if you have a better quality frame or you can use a drill bit, go ahead and attach them with the provided screws for more stability. One final step on this, because it will likely be exposed to moisture, is to take it outside and give it a spray with some sort of spray-on poly. I'm gonna be using this matte clear poly spray. Once the sealant has dried, you're ready to add your accessories. I put a little small ceramic pot with soaps, a sink scrub, and a little greenery to make it pop.
Here's a quick and inexpensive way to update an old mirror. I grabbed this faux wood wallpaper off of Amazon, and it cost me less than $6 for the roll. I measured the width that I needed to cut the paper in order to fully fit this kind of mirrored border that I already had on the mirror. Once I had that width, I cut strips of the wallpaper a bit wider than what I needed. Then I simply placed the paper along the border on the left-hand side. It went on smoothly and easily. Once it was positioned where I wanted it to be, I used a straight razor to cut along the mirror's edge. I did the same thing along the right-hand side of the mirror, and then I worked my way to the bottom. I measured the width that I needed and then cut it so that I would have a little bit of overlap and a really good seam on the sides. The final piece was my installation across the top. It looked really great. It adhered easily. And then, of course, all I needed to do was to continue to go around it a little more just to fine-tune the edges and make sure that everything was attached and adhered in the way that I wanted it to look. I hope this inspires you to use some peel and stick faux paper to create a different look in your bathroom.
The next time you're at Dollar Tree, make sure you head to their frame section and grab some of these gold frames. And I'm going to begin by removing the backing and then taking out the matte border as well as the cardboard, so I have just the glass and the frame. I'm then going to come in with some wire cutters and I'm going to pull out the black tabs that keep the backing on and remove those as well. Then I'm going to take out the glass and I'm going to come with some E6000 and I'm going to glue the glass inside the frame. So I just go all around the frame with the glue and then I place the glass back inside to glue it in place. Once I've done all my frames, I'm then going to come and take 8 of the frames and I'm going to glue 2 of them together. So 8 frames total, glued 2 together. And I do this by using the same E6000, making sure I flip it over and wipe away any excess glue that oozes out in between. And then I'm going to clamp them together and I'm going to let this set overnight. I was noticing when I placed the clamps on the frames to clamp the 2 together, they did kind of raise up and bow up at the corners there. So I just placed some heavier objects on top to keep them flat and straight while they were setting. I came back the next day, removed all my heavy objects that I placed on top, and then as well removed the clamps from all the frames. And these frames are really solid glued together here. Then I'm going to take the remaining 2 frames that are not glued to any other frames, and I'm going to lay them out here on how I'm going to glue this together. So I'm going to glue all the sides, and then I'm going to just raise them up here and build a rectangular shape. So 2 frames on each end, and then the 2 that are glued together for the sides. Again, after I've done this, it is standing, so we don't need to clamp it, but I am going to let this set overnight again, making sure that the glue is really solid. Once it's set, you can see here I can move it around. It is completely solid. It does not move. It's not flimsy. And then I'm just going to come in and finish it up with a nice A-frame top with my remaining 4 frames. And then I'm going to just connect them together into an A-frame shape and letting that set as well overnight. Then, when I am finished, here is my project. It is a beautiful terrarium that I can use to place my potted plants, and I like the sides open on the A-frame part so that I can just stick my sprayer in there and water my plants as need be. This is a decorative little elegant house for me to store my house plants, and now I have one of those gorgeous A-frame terrariums that you see at high-end decor stores that I made for as little as under $10 and the cost of some glue. I really hope that you enjoyed this project.
So I ran down to Home Depot to grab some decorative trim. What we want to do is cover the frame of the TV. Your key to this is to turn all your miter saws to 45 degrees. That's going to be every cut that you make. Start with your first cut right on the end at 45 degrees, and then you're going to measure right from the inside cut all the way down the length of the TV. That's where your next miter cut is going to be. Turn the saw to the other way and give it another 45 degree cut. Once you get that cut, you're going to go ahead and match it to the next part. That way you don't have to use a tape measure, and you can get the top and bottom frame the exact same size. Just use a pen to mark it out and cut it. Once you get all 4 pieces cut, lay it out. Make sure it's all smooth and ready to go. But the secret to this is you gotta have glue. That's gonna hold all the pieces together. Now, just don't lay out a bead. You wanna smooth it out so it has as much adhesion as possible. As the glue is laid out, just go ahead and put it right up next to it and make sure you get those nice smooth lines. Next, you gotta get some flat corner braces. That's what's gonna hold these frames together. Just mark out the holes, but you gotta be careful. We need to pre-drill all the holes. That way the screws hold inside this MDF wood as easy as possible. Once you pre-drill, the screws go in without a drill. You can just use a regular old screwdriver to put them in. Make sure you get it nice and tight, but don't over tighten. We just want to make sure it's snug and it's holding in place. These corner braces do a great job holding it together. Once you get all 4 sides, we got to build a box. That way we can cover the sides of the TV. I use a little bit of 1x4, and again, you got to use that glue. It holds the sides together. Again, we're going to use 45 degree cuts, and look how smooth that is. You can use screws or nails, but I go ahead and use a brad nailer. It's real easy to use, and it puts a nice fine fastener right inside. I just use 3 on the side, and it gives it a nice smooth look. Now, again, we're going to go with the glue. We got to put it all the way around the box frame we just built because we're going to lay the frame on top. If you measured right and did good and took your time, it's going to fit just right. The last thing you need to do on this is use the brad nailer again and put just a few brad nails to hold it together. Once you get those in, let's cover up them nail holes with a little bit of spackle. Just let that dry and sand it clean. Now it's time for some gold paint. Any type will work, but as you can see, it's going to take a couple of coats. I did put 3 coats on here. Let them dry about half an hour in between coats. The next thing we got to do is we got to put a little bit of Velcro on the TV. That's going to hold the frame in place once we install it. It just looks amazing. When you're not watching TV, you've got your own portrait. I hope this inspired you to build your own DIY television frame. Thanks.